And hello, folks. Welcome back. Golf with your friends, by ourselves, because we are building ourselves a course. Did some experimentation off camera. Sort of got a sense of what all we can play around with. So sadly, hey, y'all go. Yeah, so last time we had a basic course built, just a nice little straightaway with a fall off at the end.
I'll be back.
And thank you for the follow, Diago. Yeah, so pretty basic. Little bit of luck here at the end, but it's pretty forgiving. Has a little deep down hoop there. Then I made another course. We found out that these turning platforms don't actually do anything. They're purely visual. I'm pretty sure in a normal game, they do cause your ball to change direction. But and this, they don't do anything. So made a pretty simple course. Not too fancy, but functional. But over here, been playing around with all of the various items that you can add to the level. Important to note, you are able to make walls by you grab one of these, you duplicate it by holding Alt, and then you hold Shift. When you let it go, you can create a wall. This one in particular seems to be kind of buggy. Causes the center section of the wall to just sort of flip through. But these four walls are the only walls in the editor that actually have this function of you being able to extend it. Which, there are other wall types available, but those are the only ones that you can extend in this way, which is definitely useful to have. You have these little divots in the walls. You have to make note of that. But there are many, just item types to play around with. But there's also a lot that aren't available in the editor that are clearly, in the regular levels. For example, there are no sand traps. There are, however, these snow traps. Which are functionally the same thing, but you only have them in a snow skin. This part in the space station theme appears to be the only actual waterway that you can add in. It's one of the major, I guess not major, but one of the little mechanics they have in the main levels is just these waterways where you can, have your ball hop around. You can't really control your movement beyond that. Yeah, this seems to be the only functional waterway block that they have. Well, thank you. I've actually been watching the fuck out of some Minecraft streamers lately, and they are on right now. So it was a hard choice for me to stream right now instead of watching some cool Minecraft stuff. But yeah. Also, you have some moving objects that have hitboxes, others that do not. Like the central sphere has a hitbox that you run into, but this outer ring does not. This gear has a full hitbox. We can definitely utilize that. But sort of the most important thing out of all of these moving parts to note is that they own with rare exception, unless the moving part is used as a an upward support for your ball, it does not affect a stationary ball. So if my ball happened to get stationary right here, the wheel would stop affecting it. But if it was in motion when it hit the wheel, then it would continue to move the ball around, which can be really, really bad. Because if you're that would probably keep your ball in continuous motion. And if your ball's in continuous motion, you basically forfeit the round because there's no way to reset. Which is also the case for these movement columns we got right here. They are really great for increasing your momentum. But if, as we found out with Drew, that one time he bugged out of the course one time when he got stuck in one of these things. If you are stuck in one of these things and you're not physically moving, it'll just kind of jiggle your ball around and prevent you from actually ending your stroke, and so you'll just end up timing out. I believe most of things like that are not course dependent. So just the person, yeah. Well, there's a way to reset your ball, but that option is dependent on the players. They have to implement that. It's not dependent upon the course maker. So I have no control of that. Just whoever chooses to play. Yeah. Also, kind of sad is these pushers don't actually do anything. They're purely aesthetic. Your ball goes straight through these. Though some of these pushers have a bit of an effect. Again, if your ball's in motion, you'll run into this cube here, and then it'll push you away. If your ball stops before it hits you, then your ball will just clip through it. One kind of cool thing though is this ice here. All of the blocks in this ice theme with this texture to them are slippery, so very little traction. So we'll definitely have to make a course designed around that. Very hard to slow down, and you have to be very careful with your strokes. And of course there's a few things that have hidden hitboxes to them. This bucket, looks like you can go inside this bucket, but there's just a invisible wall there, so you'll just hit that and go off. A few of these we could use as nice round surfaces. But yeah. Also, some bushes let you go through most of the way. Others are just hard walls. We have most of the explosives available to us. They have these. It's just the ones with these explosive radius around them that actually explode. This one's purely aesthetic, and then this one, I believe, actually explodes. So we could possibly fake people out, make a course where there's active explosives and ones that are duds that you can run into. We have the launching tubes. We have the portals. I didn't really like the portals personally. Just wasn't a whole lot you could do with them. Of course, there's the black hole. It's just a fun little thing to mess around with. Let's see. What else was there? We've got these raising and lowering platforms. Got the whatchamacallit, the Pharaoh's Curse. We will definitely have to make a course oriented around that. Oh, the black hole? I haven't tested it, but I mean it should function the same way it did when we were playing before. If I hop down here. Really wish these rotating platforms did something, but they are purely aesthetic. So this should function exactly how it did previously. It has like a radius around it, where it like adjusts the course of your ball. Get within the blue, then it will like change your trajectory. And if you get too close to the center, it'll just suck you in, and then spit you out like that. This whole of the course. Alright, so this little testing area I have here doesn't actually have a hole for it. So one of the weird things is that, like I can make, like, each starting ball does not necessarily have to have an end hole associated with it. So, like, there is no hole associated with all this test platform over here. I could just hit my ball over here onto the second course and get a hole in there, or I could get a hole in there. Which is why, like, the individual holes, like, usually have to have some kind of divider between them. Because that's a good way to sort of cheat the game. You know, if you knock your ball onto a different like course, you can always get a hole there instead of doing the one you're meant to do. But yeah. So probably gonna end up deleting most of this a little later on. Right now, this is sort of like the right. One more fun thing. These eyeballs are like the only object that your ball seems to be able to push around. Which you can also push around with the objects in the editor. Or most of the objects in the editor. Let's see. That should work, right? Yeah. Kind of kick that around. Like, it doesn't push your ball back, but you can just sort of have it as a physics object, sort of obstructing your view, have it be like knocked around in the area. Weirdly, the only object that actually does that. Oh yeah. So yeah, basically what I have here is like the more interesting things that we can mess around with. I have a few concepts I would like to try. First of all, I want to try and make the course like I started to make last time, which just like didn't work out. Also, the eyeballs have like really weird selection points. Like I can grab them from here, but like the actual bar to adjust their position, like way off somewhere else. Yeah. So last time I tried to make a big old slide, but it didn't really work out because your ball just doesn't carry momentum very well. So I want to try make a new slide using. Let's see. I might try using some of this ice. Seems like a good thing since it doesn't have it's very much friction to it. I don't see a very good sort of upward lip to it. Might be an issue. Go ahead and get some music on. There we go. Yeah. So the main issue last time I tried to make a big old slide was just the regular ground has a lot of friction to it. But if I could just use the ice, that might actually work. Go and increase the size of this guy. Do a kind of craziness we can get going on. Probably look better if I merge this in multiple parts. I want to see how big I can get the part first. Ooh, and we have a nice loop-de-loop. That's perfect. So that's going to be our target at the very bottom of the slide. Probably have multiple of those. Get those reasonably lined up. Probably worth having snap-on for this. Get those all lined. Right. I think these are probably the way to go. Slides. Just start with one of these. Have it swap off the flat pieces. Just add an angle. Right. Turn off snap. We can get this all lined in a decent way. The wall should be more or less centered. Curious how well they'll stay in. Probably good ways to set it up. And we'll just take this. Definitely a lot of improvements that could be made to the editor. Yeah, it should hook in decently. Shouldn't be anything to stop momentum. This ice should definitely help though. See how long we can do this. Like the size changing controls are definitely awkward to mess around with. They don't necessarily line up. I'd like to sort of slowly reduce the angle of the ball as it goes down. I don't think there's any really good parts to do that with though. Nah. Definitely better do that with the regular parts, it seems. That's fine. You have to be very careful about how we match these up. shrink this a little bit. Have multiple of them feeding together. I'm interested to see what kind of speed we can get down this thing. That should work. Okay, that. That's the angle. That's more like it. Probably help if we have the sides all matched up. Let's see. Which is the length? Okay. That's 3. If that actually matches up, no. 1.5. That looks pretty good. Yeah. They're all the same width. A little bit weird how the textures change depending on how your camera's looking at them. One more. Five. Or what? That was 5. There we go. Nice angle of entry. It's reasonably aligned. Now we can pretty much make this as long as we want. It's the length. They're nice and tall. Gotta hope that this is smooth enough. The ball won't just like bounce once it hits the next segment. I don't know. We'll have to find out. I'm interested to see. Oh, this should be at a lower angle. See what the ball bounce is like. Alright, let's make a little starting platform. First we'll test without the boost. Manually move this one up. Oh, it's an angled platform, a flat one. Yeah, that was another thing I noticed, is there is, in the main courses, this regular boost, like a platform in the Egyptian area. These are the only boosts available in the editor. Let's see. Make a ball starting position. There we go. That lined up. The no, whatever. Yeah, that's okay. That should be a good height. Right. Give her a hit and see how it goes. Yeah, definitely not enough speed there. We did see it bounce a bit, which is a problem. I may swap over those end sections of ice at the bottom. Some of the smooth platforms, I think this would line up a little bit better. Just wanna... Yes. Huh. Width doesn't carry over. It'll be a 3. Rotate it. Oh. I suppose I will want that flat. See how well we can merge these. Just be able to increase depth a bit. This. Have it line up. Smooth it out a little bit better. Smidge. Have hitting the edges at all. Alright. So definitely didn't get enough speed going down this to make a full loop. So we'll see now how it does. Have I played Skyrim? Yes. Honestly, Skyrim is one of those games you probably want mods for. It's a little bit dull without mods. Let's see. It has these two options available for the speed platforms, but I'm not sure there's much of a difference. I think one's just more powerful. Been a long time since I played Skyrim. You know, decently fun game. I remember my main complaint just being like, you know, not having the character interactions I would have liked, you know. I guess just like the storyline, the different paths, like not necessarily what I would have chosen, you know. Like a lot of scripted actions, like I would want to play out differently, but you know, decently entertaining beyond that. I'm curious if we can get away with just having one boost at the top. That will carry our momentum well enough. But if we're going to need multiple boosts along the way. Let's give her a try. Not quite straight. Ooh. Okay. Definitely have to adjust the position of that. Probably better to have that a little bit lower down. Oh, really? 2026? I have not heard any news on any new games they're planning. Aside from like Elder Scrolls Online and stuff like that. I don't know. Stuff like that I feel is better to do with friends, probably. Well, we made one loop. Not terrible. Sure, these loops are too large for me to make a second. Oh, actually roll off the edge. That's interesting. Let's see if we have a boost going the whole way down. I don't think the effect stacks from it. I don't think I can like further increase their speed just by adding more boosts. Might want to align the angle. Yeah. I've seen a bit of like Morrowind multiplayer. Yeah. I definitely remember preferring Morrowind to Skyrim. I don't know. Like as fun as it of a gimmick as the whole dragon spells are. I don't know. It just felt like more immersive like world. I never actually played Oblivion, though I've seen a bit of gameplay of that. Seemed decent enough. Yeah. Yeah. Where I put it. One kind of annoying thing. Like when you initially duplicate an item, kinda messes with its placement. Because it like moves faster when you grab it initially. Yeah, plenty effective. Yeah, I remember back when I played Morrowind, it's the final boss, Dagathor. I it was a scripted event where you had to like kill him using like a specific sword. You had to collect the parts for or whatever. And I ended up with just like, you know, end game enchanting just everything to the point where like I should be able to kill him. Is the levitation spell in Morrowind real? I remember it being more of a slow fall. It's been a long time since I actually played it, but yeah. Can't really fly, as I recall. But yeah, like I went and like just like put a bunch of regen and power on my armor. Like tried to take on Dagathor like without the scripted sword. I just like had a big long back and forth. But it's just like neither of us could kill each other. But I would eventually lose just because my like durability on my equipment would run out. Almost made a second loop. I think there was a bit of an issue. Yeah, just with the ball bouncing there. One funny thing I always remember is I think they were called like skeets or something like that. Those rubbing paintbrushes causing 4 times. Ah, no. I think they were called skeet. Those like flying, like 4-winged bat things. Like that note on them where like they couldn't figure out how they actually breed. They just like randomly appear. Roll duping. Yeah. I remember I was big on just collecting stuff. I made like a wall in my house just out of ash statues and stuff like that. Thought they looked cool. Can get the still line up a little bit better. A little bit of a bump when I hit the bottom. Try to avoid that. Just the right angle. Yeah. Oh. I just wish there was like a little bit more to like the enchanting system. Like, you know, it's always like artifacts and spells you can't like put on. You know, you can't like make equals of just through the regular enchanting systems. I just wish there's just like a little bit more, I don't know, like an element of skill in there where you could get more powerful equipment spells on items. There. Yeah. Yeah, not too familiar with the Oblivion mechanics. New stuff. Rolls, you can do anything. Yeah, I actually watched a bit of modded Oblivion recently. Was it I think it was like the Midas mod. You know, if you like potato and cheese and pumpkin Atronax, or however you pronounce that. A bunch of other like magic realms and spell books you could learn from. This is going to be hard to align. Alright. Just a little bit too curved. So there was a different part I could use for this. Like a more gentle curve. Not really another option though. Yeah. Duplication glitches. What are you gonna do? There's not really a better part at all. You have to mess around with the scale, I suppose. I don't want it flat. Sort of have it bend in as best as I can. It helps if it's thinner. Lines the ball better that way. Yeah. Oh, wait, that is a completely different size. I should change that. There's just an undo. Alright, so what are the dimensions? Honestly, games like just like all these Elder Scrolls games, like those, I would mostly play just for, you know, sense of immersion. But, you know, they're not necessarily perfect at doing that. The character interactions are, you know, a little bit stifled. But unnatural. Yeah. You know, just the scenery and the creatures, and as interesting as, you know, some of the spells and combat can be, mostly just participate in that for a sense of presence. You know. Looks a little bit better. Have a little bit of a bump in that part. A bit shot though. We'll need to realign this ball. Ooh. We made it through the first loop, but it got us out a little bit early. The lines. Yeah. There. Alright, let's give this another shot. Ooh, that was a curve. Oh, of course we land in the other course. On over here. I think I decided on a par for this one. Make it 4. Not sure how effective blocking with your fists would be IRL. Let's see. I feel like there's probably a better block I could use to smooth the entry onto this. Bit of a dip. Maybe this. No. Suppose a tube might. Good choice. Yeah. I can appreciate some of these combat systems. I can, you know, Mordhau or things like that, or you know, like direction dependent. Let's see. Maybe. Have the more smooth entry. Good line reasonably well. Can you? Interesting. These are right over here. Oh. Reminds me of when I played World of Warcraft, honestly. I think my most memorable character in World of Warcraft was when I played a druid. Didn't actually do much combat, purely like an exploration thing. Yeah. I might be able to get a second loop-de-loop down. First, I need to get this first guy aligned just right. I mostly want to make sure this entry is nice and smooth. Of course, it might. I'm tempted to use some of these other loop-de-loops that actually have railings to them. I think that would stay in a little bit better, but concerned about the loss of momentum as they go through. Might help if these were a bit wider, honestly. The issue before was that it was sort of bouncing on entry. Might be easier if like I had each loop-de-loop like get smaller in succession. Just want to see like if how good I can get this to work if they're in perfect alignment. I can almost certainly get 2 loops as is. Oof. Yeah. Up if I smoothed out this entry. hard to get it. Go down right the middle. I shrunk this down a little bit. Reduce the width. That would help. So these changing dimensions is quite confusing. Right. This is point at the slide in conjunction forward. But we did the boost a little bit higher up earlier. And the problem was that the ball wasn't aligned properly early on. So it is that going down the slide would actually assist in aligning the ball before it hits the boost. I am tempted to make the slide itself thinner. That might help. Game is being kind of laggy at the moment. I need to delete some of those moving parts. Move this platform back a smidge. Good. Pretty hard, like figuring out the position for this. That might work. Alright. Flatten out this platform. Alright, give that a shot. Oof, nope. It's having that issue where it just launches the ball. Curious to see how well it can get through that loop. Oh, that actually worked pretty well. Got through the second loop. Okay. We can align these. More lag spikes. We'll just try making the third loop much smaller. Let's see if it's consistent. Can you change the positions of these at all? Ooh. Oh, almost got the third. Not quite enough momentum. Shrink this a tad. Shrink this one again. Right about to there. See if it'll line so. Ooh, oh. No, I just need to move that last ramp side a little bit. Oh, a little further. About there. Oh, It does appear that your initial hit does affect how you end up going down this. Huh. Interesting. Hoping to be a little bit more consistent than that. The way I configure it would be just the width. That stays fine. It's decent. Just this a smidge. Give that another shot. Ooh, interesting. You'd make the first loop less wide to compensate. Spike there. See how that works. A lot of experimentation in this. Ooh. Bounced at the end of that one. Interesting. Adjust the width. that helps. Looks cool if nothing else. If we do millimeter. No. I just moved it over. A lot of trial and error. Flung that guy right off. Dude, that might be cooler than loopy loops, just having it fling onto the course. Ooh. Oh! Not quite enough for the third. Alright. Trim it down a smidge. See how consistent we can get this. Oh, I bounced that time. That last loop over a bit. Ooh, that's interesting. Looped in place. And off the edge. Oh. I was thinking one way I could get this more consistent. If I simply had you fall into a portal. Portals would completely cancel your momentum. That way, every time you hit it would be consistent. Oh, I didn't realize that the portals only worked as entries or exits. Can't go both ways, it would appear. That guy lined up. This way we don't have to worry about your entry momentum, and each time it should be consistent for every ball. I really just want a cool loopy-loop. I don't want to be jank. Have some people randomly fly off. That's no fun. Oof, not quite. A little bit further over. Yeah. Alright, got 3 loops off of that. It's pretty good. Now we can move on to the actual course. Ourselves. Big old icy platform. I believe this is the only course that actually has slidey platforms. Kind of waves we got to work with. Okay, I'm just flattens out. Make this as awkward as possible. Love to have a bunch of these. Turn the snap on. Not at the desired height. Point 5-ish. Oh, those lag spikes are a bit of a problem. What is a good part of there? There's an entry point. Probably this. Just about lines up. Yeah. I'm thinking like an outer wall of these things. Something equivalent. What is a good transitional piece for this guy? Should be one that goes from flat. That shape. Like this. I don't see one made of ice. Oh. Just make it bumpy. It's not good. More of these. I'm thinking like a wall for the course made out of these parts. Have the main floor be mostly these. Oop, wrong part. Definitely should have added this before and afterwards. I'll accidentally select it. And we'll just have these parts sort of alternate directions. That as annoying as possible. Definitely don't think the ice platforms were heavily utilized on the main courses. One thing you need to play around a little bit with to really have fun. You know, it's just these low friction blocks. Either Y, I want that as 1E. No, it's 9. There we go. Don't think there's a good block to sort of round out the edges, so I'll probably end up using a wall there. Yeah. Five. Two. 8. Set snap. There we go. I do these on the other side, actually, instead of these. It's a nice little half pint to work with. Use it for the entryway. Need to get this down a little bit further. Duplicate this on the other side. At 90 and scooch over. Probably have to make a wall. Don't fall through there. Okay, that's working pretty good. Gotta find a nice platform to buy those. we want to approximately shape. And that gap. Alright, that matches up. One side perspective. That should be good. Need a big old wall here. Stretch it out. There we go. In indicators are a little bit off. Good, align right with that. Good. Just the size. Yeah, very good. Okay. Now we have this big field. Let's extend this a little bit further. A few more blocks. Nice long field. There goes that lag again. And we'll just work in the hole down at the very end. What would be a good exit? I would like, well, not sure if it should be completely flat at the hole or if there should be a slight dip to it. Just because of the momentum of the ice, I think it might be okay to have a dip. Like, even with the dip, people are probably going to miss a lot of the shots. Probably end up putting a goalie at the end now that I think about it. Have an animated goalie. One of these. Is it the ice thing? I could have sworn it was the ice thing. Ah, no, it was the forest thing that had the goalie. Turn him around. Oh, that's weird. I really can't change his direction? Huh. Didn't realize that when I was messing around with it earlier. Very strange. Rotating him just adjusts like his central position. Change what direction he's facing. Kinda sucks. And there's also this. Hopefully I can change the direction of this. Huh, again it just doesn't change the direction of the goalie. Very strange. That early access though. I'd love to have a properly functioning level creator. This is a little sad though. Suppose I can compensate with different blocks. Got other animated stuff I can mess around with. I really wish this were set up like, you know, animated, like blocks all be in the featured area. But for some reason, a lot of the moving blocks are actually in the scenery section. It's harder to find what you're looking for. Yeah, really wish it had like the platforms that would raise and lower. That'd be nice. Fortunately, we just have the base like piston segments for us. It's an interesting obstacle we can go with. What do we got over here? Number of spinny bits. Only trapdoors. Maybe the targets. Maybe the box. Hurdle. These are pretty much what I have to work with. Most of the other objects don't actually do anything. We wish there's just like a rounded version of this. You know, for a corner. There's even like the regular ground that works that way. Unfortunate. Oh, there might be another segment like under the other themes that would work. Check those real quick. There's for the most part they're like the same, like between themes. The items you have to select, but there are a couple unique ones. Each theme. Yeah, it doesn't look like it. Oh well. Guess we'll just have to make them flat. I guess that could work. Not really a good angle though. Probably something clever I could do with these other shaped blocks, but I don't really want to bother. Something like this. I should probably use one of these. Turn that. Look right. Flattened out at the very end. Line that. Right. Okay. Push it on back. Flatten out the back area. Anyone has a white ball, it's going to be very hard to see in this. Let's see. Actually, these are swap these out with the other block here. Maybe not. Just add a wall in. And that should be one of these. Eve. There we go. Another one of those. Side. Flag spike. And turn around. Perfect. Just gotta have a wall at the very end. Anyway, it's this one that makes it go wider. Strangely. Give it a little bit of a flagpole. Slightly bubble. Yep. Alright. Now what I want to do, actually rotate these. Yes. Every sort of checkerboard pattern. Make this as unruly as possible. Ooh. There we go. And we'll just have to mix in a few moving parts. Make this interesting. Again, I mentioned the... Ooh, maybe a couple sand traps. That'd probably be good. Hard to spot, hard to avoid. Blends into the area. Probably preferable to hit the snow traps, to be honest, so you can have a clear shot. I am curious what happens if you hit these while they're on an edge. That it'll actually like stop your ball. Play around with that one. Select it. There we go. Push that into the wall. We can play around with that. As for moving parts, I think this would probably be a good spot to put in those eyeballs, actually. These are the ones, right? Yeah. Unfortunately, it's actually really awkward to get these where you want them to go. Because weirdly, they're like even physics objects as you're placing them. I can't actually move this up and down. Still, like, running into the terrain. So in order to get these onto this platform, I'd actually need to make a ramp into it. Which we're going to use this. You into place. Not actually level, is it? No, it's level. Need to make it bigger to Slide with the ground. And scooch up. Alright. See if we can get that eyeball in place. Yeah, we can just like sort of roll it up this platform to get into the actual play area. Bizarre as that is for a level creator. Litter the area with these. We have 5,000 objects we can put into a level. See how many of them we can make eyeballs. Of course, while the player's ball can affect the eyeballs don't affect them back, I don't believe. So these will just kind of bounce around. Yeah, nice little ball pit to play around in. That lights back again. Should probably delete a few of the items in the testing area. I want to keep them around for now, though, just to, like, you know, as a reminder of like what does what. All the eyeballs. Oh, I think I can just duplicate these, right? Yeah. Probably do that. Oh! Forgot about that part. Yeah. I don't want to duplicate them, because they will actually bounce off of each other's hitbox. So yeah. Back to putting them in manually. Pull it up. Come on. All the eyes. A few a little bit deeper. Hey. It looks like the sliding ground works on them. I'm curious if the snow traps also work on them. Still seem to slide around. Like, there we go. Litter the area. That's another thing they didn't include in the editor that I wish was in this, was just the chainsaws from the forest levels. I think those would have been cool to play around with. But no. There's also a few of the little plank things that knock you around that weren't included. Would have been nice. A couple more eyeballs. A couple more to even it all up. Be a nice dynamic thing. You know, the level. And just like some physics object that the player can run into, sort of knock the balls around if possible. Good item. Spikes might be good. Definitely don't want to do the black hole. That'd just be mean. Be a pusher. Some sort. So many items, so few useful items. I feel like this had something. I don't know. Maybe I'll just put in some of the posts here. Mess with them. Right towards the edges here. Unfortunately, they don't line up too good. Not really a flatter version of those. They're all specifically designed for slopes. Those are all for slopes. Like another variation, I don't think. I could just make these taller, probably. Or shorter. That would also be annoying. Still run into them. Yes, that'll do. It'll compensate for the lack of height. Right up against the ground, right? Ooh. Lag. Yeah, those should be close. Oh, huh. I didn't realize my camera could actually interact with the eyeballs. It's a really weird feature. Let's have those on the other side. Mirror it. Maybe. Really wish those gullies worked. Be like my ideal. Put those in front. I think some of the forest items might work, though. These flippers make it feel like a ping pong grid. Not ping pong. The other one. Yeah. Oh, it's a shame these don't interact with the eyeball. Oh. These slightly interact with the eyeballs. Pinball, that's the one I was thinking of. Big old ice pinball machine. Bumpers and shit. Yeah, that's another thing I wish was a thing in the game, was just bumpers. Like, there's no object you hit that, like, you know, increases your momentum. Like these targets, but they don't, like, bounce you at all, I don't believe. This is not noticeable. Maybe I can just, like, make little pathways along this. Find a good object to do that with. Something like this. Not really put in any, like, sort of sensible order. And really spread about. That one's twisted so we can adjust its angle. That. Yes. And just because I really want a goalie, I'll have a goalie here. Of course, they can only face that direction, can't they? She could adjust these guys. But that's a decent way to exit out of that loop-de-loop. I think about it. Just have that guy blocking the exit. It's really... Alright. Pretty happy with this. For this ramp. Let's give her a playthrough. Wait, depending on your timing, he might knock you one way or another. I definitely need to add more snow traps into this. I'm gonna test out this guy on the side, though. It doesn't stop you enough that you like stick to the side, unfortunately. Lack of friction isn't as insane as I actually thought, but the stuff these bumpers do. Yeah, those definitely prevent you from making the desired shot. I might make more of these, actually, along the sides of the area. Those are super annoying, and I love it. Yeah. Just about able to slide in. Just get on the very edge. I dig this hole, though. It's turning out good. Can't quite make that shot. Oh. Ah. No. Off again. Not quite full power. Just angle a little bit. There we go. Definitely some trick shots you can go for on this one. Bit of risk reward. Oh, almost then. There you go. It'll be a little bit awkward figuring out a par for each of these. Alright. So more snow traps and more of those bumper thingies. I mostly have these on the sides. Slow them down a little bit if they try and make a straight shot on the edge. Adequate. Another one of those. Down-ish. Definitely feeling more of the roti that's that doesn't interact with the eyeballs. Couple of those. All right. Need something else. Full visual embellishment. Which one of these had fire? One of these had fire somewhere. Where's that torch? Should be another one though. There we are. Yeah, just some trees or whatever. Throw those in. Just for a bit more visual color. Bit of flavor. Button. Why not? Stick him right behind the goal. Bigger. Gonna help. They manage to shoot right through the center here. Between his feet, should knock it right in. Pity his jaw doesn't move. I seem to recall that was a mechanic in all the regular levels. Like they had a nutcracker that would open and close its mouth. There you go. Nope. You need to snap back in place. Smidge. Bigger. And just the angle. Making it more awkward. Oh, I think I can adjust the timing on these this way. Taking them in and out of rotation mode. I hadn't considered that. Eyes on the prize. How are you today, Mr. Silverfish? So many eyes. It's the only object that, like, your ball can push around. Like, in the editor, apparently. Seems odd, but it's, you know, works. Oh, wrong one. One. Oh, that's one. Make the button bigger. Yeah, the editor, like, it's lacking a lot of mechanics that would be really nice for a game like this, for just like an editor. And you know, you really have to experiment around with the different items to see how they behave. You want to make a good course. But I'm happy with how this turned out. Took a little while getting the loop-de-loop right, and the loop-de-loop's a little bit jank looking, but it's functional. Probably pretty it up a little bit. Besides that, this course should be finished. Move that out a little bit. One there. Size. Off of snap for now. Just the size a little further. And fit it right in that middle gap. Clip through the loop a smidge. Touch wider. That should be adequate. We'll sum at the start, I think. Suppose I could put a wall up here. That's not the right wall piece. No, there it is. Disappears after a certain distance from the camera. Snapped into place. Size. Back in there should be fine. Then make these. Hard moving duplicated items. Off that. There we go. Nope. I let go of shift. Damn it. Changing elevation, which is bad. I view that should fix it. Come on, snap it. It's a very delicate touch. Why has it got to be so awkward? That's weird. Huh. Why is it doing that? Cutting off wall. I'll just make some custom walls. Definitely not be doing that. Some of these barriers. Yeah. Snap. Enter. And duplicate. Go ahead and, oh, damn it. We did the wrong one. How to get these into position this high up. Much easier working close to the ground. Yeah, alright. Let's snap. After I get the way I want it. like snapping. It's a little bit off. Let's see. Nice and centered. Oh, can't use snap on this segment. That behind the portal. Get it. Over. Gamma. There we go. Don't want them being cheeky and jumping off platform. Alright. Give this one final test. Make sure it functions properly. Lovely little mess we got going on. Well, I hope landing, you can't land in that button. Not sure if there's an invisible wall there or not. It's really hard to land up there. Gotta decide on a par for this one. Come on, make it in. There we go. 8 strokes. This one will probably just be 3. Skip the edge. Now, this is reasonable enough to do guts. First stroke will get you about here. Oof. This is some rough terrain though. Ball definitely does not go where you think it's going to go. A little bit tempted to make the floor there just flat rather than all the bumps that I got. Six strokes. Okay. All ones. We'll make 3, 4, 5, I think. 4 or 5. Probably safe to get rid of some of this. spawn at least. I'll adjust the thickness of this though. Looks a little bit better that way. If I can. Not letting me just. There we go. Emergent platform flip. Just the angle. There we go. Oh, but it's facing the opposite direction now. Okay. So hard to grab circle that you want. There we go. Proxy. Hard to tell without, I admit it. Compare the angle. That's pretty close. Slightly steeper. Alright. That way it'll blend in nice. Gotta make another one. Yep. Oh, there. Seem to click through I have to test to make sure it works. Alright. Give her a shot. Oh. That was weird. Oh, I think I accidentally adjusted the ramp. A little bit of a nub there. Good. That back. Got another shot. Not quite enough. Okay, you increase the size of those. Not getting the same speed that I was before. Haven't clicked through, but I think only way to get the all to hit it consistently. All right, give that another shot. Oh no! Dang it! Slight adjustments. Fuck it up. Alright. Back to about where it was. Gotta move this forward a little bit. No. Hard getting that right. Lucky that I got the first time. So what needs to change here? Hard to tell. Really wish there's the undo button in this. It's so much easier. think I might actually need that look larger. Scoot this all back a little bit. Couldn't have messed with it earlier. Took a while to get this working properly. Although, now that I think about it, it might be an issue of these propulsion bits being at the same angle. Because earlier they were at a slightly steeper angle, made the ball stick to the base of this a little better. Crazy about solar disconnect. Good about it though. Let's try. And slightly steeper. That helps. Oh, Put that through the ground. Another thing that would be really nice if I could just select all these objects. Like, you know, shift click each one and have them move together. But no. At least they can snap. I think helps. I also forgot to do just the ball. Nope. Let me select the ball. Okay. There we go. These line up properly. Okay. Oh. Almost worked. I think if I shrunk this down a little bit, again, back to about where it was. Very small changes. No. Blind it a little bit. A little bit too far left. Down a little bit more. About that. Madhouse. Almost. Get close. A little more. On. And nailed it. Okay. And adjust the gingerbread man a little bit. Wait. That ramp is out of place. Good thing I noticed that one. The wall of the ramp. Sticks out a little bit. Snap. That should line up perfectly, right? Could tell. Looks good. Alright. Give that one more test shot. Sure it does exactly the same thing. Probably make this a part 4. Angles, though. All right. Settings. I'll make it a par 4. Pleased with that. So for our next, I think the next one will just be a bunch of obstacles. Let's see, I change up our style that we're going for though. Some with a lot of slides to it. interesting. This has two like identical tiles, just slightly different color. Weird how they have like slightly different pieces. You'd wish it was just like the same pieces, just in different, color schemes. Just a tiny square. What? Oh, it's like an individual tile for the texture. Okay. Weird. I think that's the only one that has that. Those are all identical. Yeah, how should we go about this? Kinda digging that. Just angle. So. E16. Okay. Make a long corridor like this. Actually, I think about it, there are tubes for some of these. That have a round one now. The entire thing encased in a tube. Like there's another object like this. Oh, this would be a good spot for that water tower. Like a water tower here that has a hole at the very bottom. Like lay that on its side. What a good gates I could use. Let's see. purchased a long pipe. I'd have to go with the space-themed pipes. I know they're guaranteed to work. I'm not sure how many of these are like actually have like propulsion built into them. I haven't actually tested those. There we go. That's more like it. Now we're thinking with tubes. Let's see. There's the one. Rotate it. Side. There we go. On this way. Have this be the end of that. If we can get it just about the same circumference. Wait, this does dip in the same. Yes, just looks flat on the bottom. No, snap. Up. We wish there was an option to, like, have your camera not run into things. Okay. Lower. Just about right. And just increase this, or decrease the size a little bit. That looks pretty good. I mean, nice and awkward hitting through that hole. Just need a starting point. And whatever obstacles we want to fit in here. I don't suppose this would work. Kind of interesting. I am curious. Could I turn this on its side and then put a booster through it? Flip that around. Curious how this will work. To see the edge. Get that right about where the hole is. Because this is curved, it should force the ball eventually find its way through here. So, we can adjust this. That these slots are on either side. Okay. We can center this better. Alright, let's give it a go. Let's see how this behaves. Ah, dang. This is a flat segment. This wouldn't work, unfortunately. All the other segments are, like, curved inward, which would have been perfect. Oh well. There are alternatives. When your ball gets like that, it's just stuck. I can't hit it. Let's see. I suppose this would be a good spot to use these. It's hard to see how they interact with the edge of the tube. It was very
I'll be back.
Thanks for the follow, put up. All potato head. Yes. Alright, so you stream? What kind of games do you stream? Ooh. Ooh, I should totally put ice spikes through the center of this. Let's see. Update that. Size. Do I stream potato-related games? I'm trying to think. I'm sure I've heard of a potato game before. Well, I suppose I do Minecraft, and there are potatoes in that. There are various farming games. Do I have that? Yeah, it's like an I Am Bread kind of knockoff. Okay, I don't know. No. I actually watch a lot of Tomato Gaming, if you've seen him. One of my favorite streamers. Let's see. So hot. Select desired circle. Add. There we go. Random spikes. Let's see, I'm sure there's a good rotating part I can include in this. Maybe the cookie. Oh, that's what I should include, is that, that rotating bit, yes. Turn that 90 degrees. Let's see. And that a bit further. Just barely see the edge of the tube. I dig it. Sort of has like a little trap to it if you go far to the left. Stuck inside of this spinny bit. What's the size of this sucker? Good idea to turn that off the snap. Just make it so you have the option of going on the ceiling. Avoid some obstacles. But then we'll just have the gravity wells. You try and go through the top. Spinning target would be good. Put that midway through. Side. Do a couple of these actually. So I will need to adjust. Wait for that to line up. Yeah. just about center them. It'd be good to have them on snap so that I can send them. There we go. Take a couple more. Right about there. Yeah, that's getting nice and trippy. Scooch in closer to her. Not quite snapping the same. There we go. This is what the level editor was made for. Alright. Let's see. I think this is another spike block. It's another good one. There's a good toss one they use in there. That on its side. Oh. Do a series of these. There we go. Size. And snap it to the center. Gate. Snap it. And rotate it in the opposite direction. There we go. Let's see, this actually might be good at the end. We fit our camera through. Alright. Turned into position. Right. Just stick this guy at the very end. Gateway. Huh. Here to line up. Turn off snap. Over size. Second. Yeah. Probably want to the size of this so exit holes match up. Okay, this one's a little larger. And we'll just have a little green at the end. What's the difference between these two? Slightly deeper. Snap this. And scooch it over. Nice little walls around it. Here's their size. There we go. Odds are people are going to hit their ball a little harder than normal just to get it in here. Want a wall on the other side. Oof, that is not lining up properly. Don't know why it's giving me trouble. It's unfortunate. Oh. Let's do custom walls again. Hey, Joe. How are you doing? Doing pretty good. Been messing around with the editor options. It's a little bit awkward, a little bit limited, but you can still make some cool stuff once you know what you can actually do. Oof. Maybe lay off all the breakfast food. No. Bit of heartburn. Something like that. No. 0. That 2. There we go. Yeah. Oh, you actually messed around? You're gonna like this. I don't know if you want spoilers or not, but it's pretty cool what I got. Pretty pleased. These are... Oh, these are bi-directional, so that's fine. Benefit. There we go. Currently working on a tube hole. Gonna be pretty fucking cool. Yeah. Scary. Yeah, there's a lot of, like, if you do want to make more holes, like, on your own, it's definitely important just to, like, grab all the different parts and see what they do. And just, like, you know, put your ball on it, rain around with them, and see what the hitboxes are like, and all the interactions. Yeah. Well, I highly recommend, let me see. There's actually a tutorial. Where's my favorites? There we are. Yeah. Go ahead and, if you want to do more, I highly recommend looking at that link. They'll tell you some of the, you know, basic controls that will help you out. Like, you know, the snapping stuff. And how to make walls. Which, the walls, even if you know how to do them, are still kind of jank. But, you know, they have their function. Yeah, mostly just playing around with the different parts. Seeing how they behave. Like, there's actually ice with reduced, friction. Like, these pistons, you know, they look like they work, but they act like your ball just goes straight through them. These aren't actually implemented properly. Stuff like that. There's various parts like... Oh, yeah, sorry about that. I think I was looking at, like, a specific part. It's like figuring out how to do walls properly. That's where that starts at. But yeah. That was like the only tutorial I saw that was actually up to date with the new editor, because this is like a very recent version. Need more moving parts. I really wish you could adjust the animations of things. So much you could do with it. Like, have those, like, they have those, space craft. You know, that, or like, there's that one space level where you had, like, everything, like, spinning around, like, a central core. I mean, you can start at the beginning. I just, it just automatically went to the 10-minute mark because that's where I had bookmarked it. But, yeah. It's just like a good overview of the controls. It doesn't go into, like, too much of the, like, actual object interaction. Most of that I figured out on my own just by playing around over there. I just want a lot of moving parts. Not enough moving parts. Find a good, like, a round object. Ah, yeah. I want to do all the fanciness. Oh, right. Then, like, some of these objects, like, aren't actually, like, implemented properly. I think, let's see. Space one. Okay, yeah, that's working, right? Oh. Sometimes you click on them and they just don't, like, appear. Have a few black holes in here. Actually, I can just duplicate them. Maximum power. Yeah. I don't know. Like, that's, like, specifically what I'm avoiding in most of mine. Like, I want it to be very hard to get a hole-in-one. No, like, clear paths. It's like, you know, very specific hits. Like, precision levels as much as possible. And just a little something here towards the end. Right in between these. Well, that's a good spinny part. Yeah, you have like these, like as purely aesthetic parts. You can like make them, but they were like flying around in the main thing. Yeah. Like my starter hole is pretty straightforward, but it's, you know, there's still a precision there. Like I made it so you have to, like it's very easy to fall off the edge. Like this is the starting hole. You just have to stay within here. Like it's possible to get a hole in one, but you have to angle it just right. I guess just more ice spikes is what I would really want. I think this is my fourth hole I'm working on. That ice spike. There it is. Want more of these. I like these guys. Just have them popping in from the exterior. Fucking scary. Gotta edit your videos. Yeah, I was actually editing a Minecraft video earlier, and just like had the weirdest like bug I hadn't encountered before. Yeah. So, like the like if I play the video for it in just like a regular media player, it worked just fine. You know. But as soon as I put it into the editor, like for some reason it's like the it like duplicate the audio like halfway through. Not for the life of me figure out why. And of course, since I use Adobe Premiere, you know, that makes backups of all of the media files like in hidden folders. So that like wastes an enormous amount of just space on the hard drive, and I have to periodically go through and delete those. Fucking annoying. I don't know if that's usually the case for most media editors, but at least my version of Adobe definitely does that a lot. There's like multiple save locations. Audacity does that. I haven't checked the Audacity save files. Do that. More ice spikes. It's one of the main reasons I hadn't been putting out videos like too frequently. Or I was like having a lot of audio issues. Like whenever I'd like render the video, it's like huge portions of the audio were missing. And that was just because of just how little memory I had left. Like all the little hidden save files. To eventually clear that all out. Another thing, just your last question. All I see in the chat is there's a program I use. A patron showed me it. There's no question there. Or do you mean Let's see. I don't see any other questions. Winterstat. I have not heard of Winterstat. Is that, does that just like show information on the video, or that's that program you use for like just for just like disk cleanup, right? I think you mentioned that once. Now I think about it. Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to look into that. Would be useful. Yeah. It's a little hard to tell where all this space is allocated sometimes. Subfolder it's all in. Yeah, I will definitely look at that. That is the right. There we go. Yeah, you have a good one. Yeah, definitely let me know when you want to play this next. Cool if we can get the other guys making their own levels. Snap. Get it in snap center first. Wide area. Make this as awkward as possible. see which one of these I am. That's the one. Bigger. No. Too big. That's an interesting little challenge at the start. Goes the other end, I'll just put a bowl or something at. Let's see. Be a good bowl item. Someone. Bucket. That's the one. Seal it off. See if we can center this guy. Size. Camera in there. Snap. Must be centered. Let's smidge. There we go. Pretty awkward getting my camera in and out of this. I think that one should be done though. I want to adjust the position of this tree. Not flipping through there. That should do. I love it. Chaotic and evil. Increase the size of this thing. Back. Still be within the... Move it up a little bit. Set that to snap. Take a look at it from the inside. Smooth it out on the bottom. So a little bit of a If you get really lucky, you can hit it straight through. One's right there. On it. Side. Yes. Perfect. You can skip most of the pain. You line it up just right. Oh, I am missing the hole, aren't I? But yeah. Besides that, it's gonna be perfect. Your eye on the target. What is that noise? Okay, you're making a joke. No, I did forget to put the actual hole in, though. Oh, I assume it's those black holes that's making that noise. What happens if I get scooped up in these? I might have to remove these if they cause you to go in a loop. Yeah, I think they cause you to go in a loop. Oh, no, it stops. That should be okay then. Oh, and there's a lip. I didn't think there was a lip on the inside of the tube. Big time waster, though, if you get caught in these. Oof. Dang. Guess I'll have to find a different tube. That's a problem. Yeah, you will eventually stop if you get caught in these. Okay, you can kind of make it up the side there. Hard getting in that hole, though. I might actually want to put a booster here at the end. Sort of push you into the hole. Because this is a really hard thing to hit. Yeah. Alright, we'll just throw a booster in at the end. Let's see. What? No. Right direction. Wait. Oh, this only faces downwards. I didn't realize that. Okay. Let's delete that one. This is the one that faces any direction. Shifts. Not because of snap. Snap. There we go. Actually, I should double check. Wasn't side direction snap. No, that was just always downward. Huh. Matter what direction to keep it in. Alright. Go over. Let's see. Yeah. In there. See how much width we have. I adjusted its position. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Alright. Snap that to the sender. And adjust its depth. A little bit deeper. And it should do. Might see. Right about there. There we go. Addition back. Right up against. Now let's give that all another go. Wait for it. Kinda weird. Yeah. Oh. You don't seem to hit as hard as I thought you would. I assumed the glass would be a lot more slidey than it is. Size of that. Okay. That 20. Happy with that. China. What should we make our next course? This rock thing. Breakaway course here. Trying to switch up the themes a little bit each time. I think we'll do more of like a shifting floor kind of deal. How large we can make these. Now, this could be fun. Yeah, just like make multiple platforms. Have like layered platforms in between them. That depending on when your ball goes down, you get on different levels, different obstacles depending. Up at the top of that. Here's if you can actually hit the ball all the way. It's that might be too large to get it in one hit. Or don't really go off the Y level. Just about perfect there. Snap. Try and get these all centered off. These different sizes. Huh. Okay, no. Snapping the same point. Alright. This will be the basis of our next level. Been about 4 hours though. I think this is a good place to call it. This time will just be like shifting platforms and different paths, depending upon like, where parts move around to. Ooh, this would be a good spot for that other trap concept. I was thinking of, see those scoops I was using before. Yeah, these. These are pretty cool because they can actually just pull your ball through the ground. So, like, if you hit your ball like into the scoop, it'll push you down to the lower level. It'll make it like the lower levels are less desirable. These will be like hazards throughout. Alright. This is gonna be fun. Just increasing complexity. And fuckitude. Alright. Yeah. Yeah, this was fun. Definitely gonna continue this. We have, was this our 5th hole? Yeah, working on our 5th hole. Forget how many holes you can have. Let's see. I'm sure there's a limit. I think the limit's like 18 or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, at any rate, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Have a good night. You too, Mr. Silverfish.